Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Nightmares of Future Past. I'm your game master, lluksblackheart, and today I'm joined by the heroes Shiro, Allstrike, and Techno. Last game session, last episode, they were able to deal with one of the crashed planes with uh, a very potent form of pesticide, which they utilized by blowing it up, did defeat the fungus entity that was feeding off it and growing, so they actually did it good. They found where some survivors are, and now they have to decide what exactly shenanigans they're going to try to get into in today's episode. So, heroes, what part of the city do you want to investigate and or do shenanigans in?
How far away are the ants from the people that we found? I forgot.
Uh, you found the. Oh, that is the wrong thing.
Well, I know that they.
Gotham Apartments. Which. Let me double check the map. That's Star Labs. It's not there. Ah, there's Gotham General Hospital. There's the park. Uh, far enough away to have the ants not be a problem as long as the ants don't expand. Because it's not giving me proper like a foot marker. But there is a central road they can take to go straight to the hospital. Uh, so I'd say not too far, but not close enough to be a problem. The Gotham. Wait, did I just look at the? I looked at the wrong. I hate how some of these things have similar names that make my brain fart. Uh, Gotham Tower Apartments is perfectly safe from the ants.
uh, Um, if I'm not mistaken, they said that they sent out a party to retrieve food, and they didn't come back.
Yes,
Is
several
that
people showed up saying they can get them food, but several of the residents had to go with them to get it, and then those people never came back.
yeah? And they don't know what direction or anything. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't know
Nope.
where they went.
They did not verify what part of the city their people were taken to, and or why does it keep doing that? That they weren't able to verify any of that.
Okay. Now there was a second plane you said that crashed, correct?
In the bay.
Oh, in the bay. So it's not a problem at this point.
If unless the water becomes extremely stagnant, well, and not stagnant, unless the substance overwhelms the water and doesn't get properly dispersed, then it's a problem. But there's a good chance that if it's leaking, it's being dispersed, which is still partially of a problem because you guys verified the pesticide is extremely similar to Agent Orange, which means if it's leaking, that entire area is kind of screwed, but there's a good chance that the water to chemical ratio is going to be constantly thinning out, so to a point where it will become a short term problem, not necessarily a long term problem.
Okay. I was just going over the things that we did last week, Techno. Um,
Huh? Oh, I'm chilling. I'm just drinking Monster right now.
huh? You're just being a monster?
No, I'm drinking Monster. I'm
Oh,
in the corner with a little can of Monster. I'm chilling.
oh, okay.
I swear I'm not the bad
Uh,
guy. He drinks a monster as the monster he's drinking is going, please don't drink me.
Oh no, I'm definitely the monster. I'm not a monster.
um, let's see. We all ended up back at the plane that blew up. So we're together currently. So what do you? You know, we just we discussed everything. Now, those captains, is it sewage? Am I saying that right? I was going to say Captain
Sewer.
Poo Poo, but that sewer. Okay.
Captain Sewer.
Um, yeah, Captain Sewer. Does we don't have communications to him currently? Is that correct?
You have comms devices.
Okay. And and we can't talk to him from here.
No, you have working comms with him.
Okay. Okay. Well, I call and ask him if there's anything on his radar that we need to take care of right now.
Uh, well, the only
And
thing
also,
he's super concerned with is A, getting the Hornet back, and
okay.
B, trying to see if you guys are willing to try to either A, secure, well, not necessarily secure, but figure out where as many little outposts are, well, communities of people that are left, and or trying to find a secure location to have people go to stay at that's more secure than where they're at.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Uh, so you guys, what do you want to first tackle? Because I don't think we should split up at this point. Um,
Yeah.
so we need to get the wasp,
Hornet.
and that's too far away to do, and we can get that done. Who can fly it? That's the next question.
So
Techno probably could.
Oh, okay.
Shiro is a decent driver. Techno's a better driver. You're the worst driver here. So
Who, me?
either, you have a 2 versus Shiro's 9,
Oh
and
yeah. That
Techno's
sounds like
13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we need to get that. Well, actually, we need to get that back to Captain Sewage or use it ourselves to help um, find these other outlets. I mean, not outlets, but things where different people are on the map, and that way we can set up some type of food chain and that for those that are in a decent protective area. Um, I don't know. What is it? How's that sound, guys?
Whatever you guys want to do, I am down. I am here for the ride because the main thing that we needed to get taken care of immediately is done.
Yes, it
So
is.
whatever you guys are up for, I am good to go.
Yep. Let's get this Hornet and then I guess head to the after we get done with the Hornet, then I guess head to the General Hospital.
That's not a bad plan. You make sure everything is secure there, and see if there's anything we need to help them with. Because if they're still taking in casualties and stuff, we need to make sure that they get in safely, and they're not under attack all any time. Um, yeah, I think we should do that. That way, once we start going out to the other locations, we can one, find out whether or not we need to take somebody to there. The Hornet doesn't have does it have capability of carrying people?
Uh, no, it's a
Um,
single passenger combat vehicle.
okay, so basically it's a fighter and it doesn't have much carrier capability. Okay. Um,
Because it's not supposed to be a support craft, but a combat craft.
right. And this, and we only got the one, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And does I don't know that much about the aircraft. Does it have radar and stuff that it can help us detect um, survivors and that, Jacob?
It
After
does have radar capabilities, but it's similar to yours, and it's not a necessarily an automatic. There's people there. There's people there. There's people there, because it works on the same premise yours does. So if there happens to be people out milling about or operating vehicles, then it can go, okay, there's movement there.
okay.
Uh,
Well, what do you guys think about going back, get the vehicle, take the vehicle, and start using that with our search for people, but first stop off at the hospital and make sure that everything is secure and um, see if there's anything they have that we need to help with, because they are a vital thing to the community. Then eventually we got to go and see. Is the water cut off from the whole city?
the water is not working.
Okay, that's an issue right there. And the power is not up. Power grid's not up, correct?
Correct. There is no power.
Is there any emergency teams that we know of going
Uh,
out to fix these things?
no.
Okay. Well, I think what we can do, guys, is get the craft and take it to the hospital. Make sure the hospital is secure, and we can make sure that they can get their supplies and um, set up some type of thing with that. Then we know that the people in the Gotham Towers, they were desperate for water, or getting desperate for water.
Yeah, the
Um,
cath.
Yes, and they said they had enough for probably a day or two. So that's one of the things we probably need to look at next. But what we can do is, as we're going out to the water facility, we can also search to see if there's any other groups around. How's that? How's that sound? That way we can hit hit three different objectives. If the city doesn't have their emergency crews out working
Because they're not
on
there.
the necessity, like, huh?
Because they're not there.
They're not there. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So we're gonna need to figure out if we can fix it, and whether or not we have to monitor it. Get somebody to monitor for it. Um. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not. I mean, Rin's the mastermind. So
So to somewhat
okay.
uh, clarify, where do you guys go first?
To get the Hornet. And then while we do that, we're still good to active scans and everything.
Okay,
I'm going to do active scans.
getting to the uh, where the Hornet is quite easy because you guys know exactly where it is. And you said you're doing your active radar.
Yeah, I'm doing the active search um, for life signs of any type, basically. And those Techno, do you have anything like that in your arsenal?
No. No, I do not. I don't have anything currently made for that type of thing, and the projects I'm working on currently, that is not one of them.
Okay. I know that I know Shiro, if I'm saying that right, and excuse me if I get the name wrong. Uh, I know he's the weapon master, so we're gonna probably need. He's not going to be able to do it. Do you need somebody to take you to where we're going, or do
He
you
has a
have
jetpack, remember?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking. That I don't remember. I mean, I'm old and feeble, and plus I'm on med.
Yeah. Um. Well, as you guys are approaching the building with all strike doing his radar scans and you guys using your big noisy jetpacks,
Yep.
your radar can easily pick up several fast approaching objects. I'll give you a guess what you accidentally got the attention of.
The U.S. Air Force, probably.
Nope.
or the Hive.
The wasps.
The airborne ants.
Yeah.
Does what
And
happened
they're
last time you were too
made.
close using radars? You agitated them,
Yeah.
so they sent airborne ants to go take care of the problem. Luckily for your radar, you noticed them in time for you to A, stop using it, and B, for the party to go, we're not slow, and divert your course to circumvent
Any
or to somewhat
contact.
lose the ants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which has added a little bit of time for you guys to get to the Hornet. But you guys are able to do your best to stealth up to the Hornet, even though you guys are making all sorts of noise with your packs. You can land on the top. You can see the Hornet is in pretty good condition. It does look like it was partially knocked on its side. Like something may at one point thought it was an actual living creature and went to mess with it and then realized it wasn't. And if you want to gain access to it, almighty Techno, you need to roll me a technology check, which you do have a huge plus 20. You manage to manage to open it up, get inside. You can get everything turned on. With that check, you were also able to get high enough to turn off the alarm system, so that way you didn't trigger it. You can start it up, and it is in pretty good condition. And as you turn it on, it auto straightens itself up because it does use its legs. So when I say it's you haven't actually got a chance to see it. See it yet, have you, Techno?
No, I have not.
If you go up to notes, there's a picture.
Oh, okay, I see it there.
That's the Hive medium attack craft, also known as the Mac. The party renamed it the Hornet after they painted it to look more like a Hornet.
Okay.
And it's a single person attack craft.
Okay.
That's roughly the size of an F-16.
All right. So who's flying it, Shiro? You or me?
You.
All right.
Well, you do have a plus 13, so please roll that beautiful 13.
Is there anything that's on my passive radar?
Oh no.
Right. What did I do?
Turned on your passive radar.
Huh?
You turned on your passive radar.
No, it's not that.
Oh, I see what it is.
What is it, Techno?
Plus 13 don't mean nothing doing that one. Techno's gonna cry
Oh,
as he crashes
okay.
into the
You
building.
start getting it to move. You're like, yes, it goes to take flight, and then you realize that you didn't turn on the actual flight wings, and you're now falling face first towards the ground.
Yeah.
I will give you one more check to not crash and die.
Hopefully it was high enough.
Well, it's not a super high DC to get it initially going. But a 9's enough to forget that you need to do stuff. And at 18, you activate wings. You're able to fly, and you're able to get it to hover for a moment at the ground to stop. And as you start to move, pretty much balling out of nowhere is a massive winged ant, roughly the same size as the Hornet.
Wait a minute. Passive does not.
It still emits
a ping.
pings. It's more reactive to things pinging than it is actively pinging, but passive radar still emits signals.
Yeah.
So you can thank Navy people for that knowledge. Because God loves sonar and radar operators and how silly they like to be. But that's not the problem at the moment. It's the problem that him nearly crashing it got the attention of the airborne tank of an ant.
Well, I turn off the radar and sonar, whatever.
It ain't the problem. The problem is I almost crashed.
Yeah, it's right. So you're safe at the moment. Him on the other hand isn't. You get an initiative check to try your best to see if the ant gets to mess up the hornet before you get to okay, because you do have a +6.
Do you want me and Shiro to do an initiation roll?
Initiative roll.
Or yeah. I mean, we're still technically on top of the building.
You lucky SOB. You don't need to. Does the +6 that he got turn that 5 into an 11? And even though the big ant does have a +10 to its initiative, the nat 1 it rolled turned its 11 into a 6. So you pretty much traded initiatives with it, basically. So you have two choices in the Hornet. A, attempts to fight this big, heavily armored ant, or B, see how fast the Hornet can really go. Does you may trust the blaster cannons on the Hornet, but you're pretty sure the armor plating you see on that ant looks very, very, very good.
I really, really want to run, but I don't know if the ant is going to turn on them two.
There's a very good chance that it's going to hyperfixate on you.
Great, I'm running.
You're able to
make sure that you.
What was that? Oh my!
Go in and out of the thing. Yeah. I was going to say, make sure he zigzags and.
Well, if he's going too fast, then he can't really zigzag. Because remember, the faster you go, the harder it is to technically turn, and the longer your turns take.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was much real slower than the ant. That's why I was saying.
No, for scale with this is definitely going to give the rest of the party more than enough ample time to just safely bounce. And you get to enjoy the fact that the Hornet does have dampeners for the G-force.
Okay, well, yeah, that is a
good. You take off like a bat out of hell because it has a base rank 12 flight, which we take that and add 9 to it.
You mean a hornet out of hell?
Hornet out of hell. Yeah,
I'll see myself out.
Here's how your miles per hour is 8,000 miles.
Oh, I'm fast.
Yeah, that's pretty much in one move. You move 16 miles.
I'm very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you pretty much boot, and you're just freaking gone. The rest of the party can see the ant then does partially fly, but it doesn't actually go too far from the park, which leaves them plenty of time to get out of the area.
Now, we don't have any inkling there's anybody left in this building, do we? Did Daredevil end up doing that, or did he end up going somewhere else?
As far as anyone can find out, the only thing that was the only living stuff left that was found in the building was ants.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I just was
The
wondering.
half bloods and the vampires they belong to, their body parts were found or just not found at all because the ants most likely disposed of mostly everything.
Are the ants still looking through the building for stuff,
You'd have
or
to
they're
enter in the
just
building and look to see if there's any inside the building.
okay? I don't know if I want to do that at this point.
Uh,
I think we should probably cover our counterpart, but he'll probably be back faster than.
yeah, because the Hornet flies significantly faster than everyone else. Uh, does the speed of Shiro's jetpack is only 5, and the speed of your power armor for flight is an 8. So still relatively fast, 60 miles an hour for the jetpack, and a 500 miles for your jet boots. But that's nothing compared to the 8,000 miles an hour Hornet. Which means he can easily get back to where you guys need to park it and have it perfectly parked. Uh, and waiting for you two to show up.
Okay, where did he go to the hospital or
Park it
back to
back at
base?
the entrance of the base. Well, at the
Okay,
abandoned Coast Guard station that where the being repaired elevator is.
okay. Outlander, you said.
The what?
I said, what did you say is being repaired?
The elevator?
Oh, elevator. I thought
Yeah.
you said something else. Sorry. Um, we have a boat, don't we? Or is that boat no longer in our arsenal?
Uh, Captain Sewer's naval cutter. When he's done fixing the elevator, he plans on unsinking it.
Okay.
He
So,
also plans
all
on
right. Yeah.
retrieving Shiro's motorcycle.
Oh,
Because you
what
guys have
happened
to
to his
remember that was
motorcycle?
thrown off the pier, and then his boat got sunk when Dracula did his attack on the base.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He did do that. Well, um, huh, yeah, you give me too many things to think about. There.
Uh, but I said you guys can easily meet back up with the Hornet back where
Okay.
it belongs. And someone looked like they just enjoyed going the fastest they've ever gone in a finely tuned machine. Uh,
Very fast. Buzz.
it very
I,
fast. It even has
I contact.
proper communications equipment, life support. Um, it does have the radar stuff like him. It just has lots of neat little features. On top of the fact that it has really good blaster cannons that you don't have to be actually properly trained in to properly use because they're considered highly accurate.
I'm assuming they're forward mounted only.
Yeah, they are forward mounting. They are. If you look at the picture, if you look at the head, the two things sticking off the side of the head on each side of the head are the blaster cannons.
Oh, okay. All right. I asked the captain, is there, do we have, I asked him, did we ever get the, do we have drones and are they operational?
No, we do not have drones.
Okay.
We do not have
I
satellites. We
thought,
do not have access to
yeah,
satellites.
right. And yeah, I'm starting to remember all the stuff that we don't have. Um, okay.
Uh,
So, all right, guys, we're back here. How do you want to approach it? Do you want to approach trying to locate the civilians in an area that we can secure for them, uh, a place to be safe, um, or we can actually help the captain get his the boat and the motorcycle back.
Motorcycle's gonna be a little tough if it's at the bottom of the bay. The elevator repair should probably be the first thing, so that way we can get the boat back up and not partially sunk.
Okay.
well, when I say unsunk, I
Well,
mean unsunk, not partially sunk, unsunk. You look at the pier and
it's
you
all the
don't
way.
see it.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the river or whatever this is.
So maybe we should get do the boat first, and then do the elevator that's attached. It's supposed to be attached to it.
Yeah.
Well, Captain Sue
Are we?
was prioritizing the elevator, so that way you guys had an easier time getting from the base to the
Yeah,
surface without having to swim each time.
okay. All right. Well, does he need our help to do the elevator?
If you want to aid him, that would be great.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, Techno,
it would
want to
require
try to
everyone
help him
doing
get that elevator?
tech checks.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone.
Shiro, if you want to bow out because you have an absolute garbage on yours, then yay. Okay, Techno, you're helping. Uh, All Strike, you do have a technology of a plus 13.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you're helping.
13 plus 13, 26.
So, Shiro, like I said, because you have a whopping 0, Shiro, you don't have to help if you don't want to. Because you have a chance of
Okay.
actually messing something up.
So you could see what you can find in the area to help secure the base or whatever. I mean, you're the weapons master, so you know about that stuff.
Well, when it comes to the abandoned lifeguard station, well, Coast Guard station, there's nothing of use left. The elevator is technically still a hidden elevator. So when it comes to it being secured, it's if you don't know it's there, then you would have to be really good at finding it. Uh, so
Okay.
putting any sort of defenses on the surface will also make it apparent that there's something worth hiding there or investigating.
Okay.
Uh,
Um,
so him staying
is
at
it
the surface
is
just in case to make sure nothing bad shows up to try to attack the party. That's great. He could attempt to take the Hornet and properly conceal it in uh, one of the bigger buildings. This is a Coast Guard station, so they well, ex Coast Guard station. So there is technically a hangar for aircraft. mainly helicopters, but the retractable rings of the Hornet and the fact that it does have more movable parts than a normal plane, it'll be a tight fit, but he can squeeze it in there.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, and also he can do a search to see if there's any other vehicles or anything like that that we can use or fix. Either one.
Uh,
I mean, he could just
He,
if there's anything useful
but
that we use
it,
in our
it was stated that there was nothing
there
left
was,
useful here. It was cleaned out.
Okay.
yeah,
I
double
remember
checking.
somebody mentioned. I wasn't sure.
Uh,
Hmm?
but Shiro
That
can at
might not be
least
a
do
bad.
that, so it's not sticking out, being obvious, and it also will help protect it against the incoming storm that's coming.
Oh, that's right. There's a storm
Yeah.
coming.
Um, as you guys are working on things, with Captain Sears using his water elemental to help make sure you guys get to where you need to be, and when you guys need to actually rest, get you guys where you can properly rest, and using the air elemental to make sure there's proper air pockets in places so you guys don't suffocate.
Oh, okay.
Uh, it's easier for you to operate because of the power armor, but Techno doesn't have a means to not suffocate. If memory serves,
Oh,
the does this suit have it? I think it does. Yeah. Um,
I'll be I'll be
it's
right
just
back. I gotta take
moving
care of
about
something.
when the armor is the difficult part. Um, but it's after several days of hard work, uh, even with a storm taking being present for a part of that, the elevators get into working order. Uh, and by that time, Captain Sewer was able to alter some of the security protocols to put it so if entities enter in the shaft that aren't registered as members of the Syndicate of Heroes, or Hero Syndicate, as he likes to call it, call the group, the elevator won't work, therefore making it extra secure.
Did I
Uh,
install auto sentries in the shaft?
Installing auto sentries adds the added risk of the elevators of the security system damaging the elevator to make it inoperable. It is easier to simply just have the operator just cease working entirely instead of adding work to make it have to be repaired. Which is why he doesn't have any sentries there.
I mean, to be fair, we don't have to fix a problem if there's no longer one.
Yeah, but if the sentry guns miss, it could damage the elevator, which could make it either A, fall, or B, because it needs to have a certain level of air tightness to work properly. It could breach that and flood the entire system. On top of the fact that if bad guys enter in and start fighting the stuff in the elevator, that's stuff that has to be fixed, while also jeopardizing the elevator even further.
Okay. Can, can, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to continue on with this.
Hey, if it's never asked and or stated, it cannot be commented on, critiqued, and or denied or processed.
Sleeping gas in the air vent.
Oh, oh God. We're gonna put them to sleep.
And then after that, we can decide what to do with them later.
We're not for reasons. Um, Yeah, it's not a, it's not as a bad idea. It's just not a good idea.
What is this?
Are you
Nothing.
just trying to keep me away from sleeping bad guys?
Yes. Please don't word it like that.
How am I
Don't.
supposed to word it? If they're under the effects of sleeping gas,
Like, oh, look at them. They're all tuckered out.
he needed a nap. He needs some milk.
What happened?
I I just got shut down on live stream.
Yes, yes, you did. Um. Yeah, what's not and say we didn't?
How about paralyzing gas? Would that work better for you? What if they're incapacitated? We can decide what to do with them later. Whether it's eliminate them or just push them in the water.
Who are you eliminating?
We're not. It's
People who aren't supposed to be there.
And purely hypotheticals. I will take it into consideration. So I won't officially say no. But just remember, watch what you say. This is going live.
Which is why I'm not saying what I know you're thinking.
So
I had a comment that we're live, so I can't say.
Yeah. What? See, see, look what you did.
I've had several. I've just bit my tongue, and I'm trying. I'm being good, which is why I'm taking the high road and saying legitimately we could just push them in the water.
I'll take into heavy consideration, and you'll find out when and if it gets employed. But
how did we find these guys, or how they found us?
how did it what?
I can't breathe.
These guys that he's wants to gas. I don't know which ones are they.
It's a safety precaution for the elevator that if somebody that's not supposed to be there were to get in, either a sleeping gas or paralysis gas would trigger and put them to sleep or paralyze them. But currently the DM, or Captain Sewer, sorry, is
He's being hesitant.
a little against that. Is a little hesitant due to the fact that he knows the kind of person I am. And he knows that I will throw people over into the water and let them drown while paralyzed or asleep.
Geneva Convention, more like Geneva Suggestion. No.
Some type of defensive mechanism for the elevator makes sense.
Instead of work on the first
time. I'm announcing bad touch. Just you guys are gonna get me in so much trouble.
If nothing else, they'll have a good laugh while they're suspending us.
Yes, they will have a good laugh, mainly because we're acknowledging that. Oh God, I'm gonna get banned. Are you done? Did you get it all out?
Listen,
Yes.
listen. I was okay with dropping the conversation. Shiro's the one who brought up the convention.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, you could have. You chose not to.
Well,
He's been playing with us for too long on Fridays. We're rubbing off on him.
or we can have the weapon master set up different weapons to fire at anybody that's not supposed to be on the platform.
That already got shut down. I got told no for that. I was going to set up lava sentry.
Putting any weapons in the elevator or at all could cause the weapon systems to miss and damage the elevator itself, which could cause a air breach, which is rapid decompression, which you would have to fix the entire elevator. And then there's the fact that the bad guys will try to fight the defenses, damaging them, possibly damaging the elevator itself, and or just the systems. So it just adds more work. So his current thing is, if you're not recognized to be as a one, don't use my own words against me. Two, thank you for sending that to me instead of speaking it out loud. But
I would never say that. I would never say that openly. Are you sure you want me here for a live stream session?
Oh, well, you're being quite tame right now, so thank you. But at the same time, bad things are coming in your direction. Oh, am I having internet problems?
Oh, because it's funny.
Yeah. Say funny, I say.
Listen, I've had that threat so many times. It's fine.
I still haven't gotten that pizza.
It's fine. That wasn't me that promised you pizza. You need to talk to Fang.
I did, and she still hasn't come through with it. It's been weeks in the making.
For myself.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
No, he said he was going to order for himself, not you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but like I said, anyone who manages to actually get the secured hidden door open and then enter on the platform, the elevator's just going to turn off. Therefore, not being usable. Stop using my own words against me.
I was going to say, I mean, the gas idea is, or we can just, electrify the place.
That would be a terrible idea. Electricity on electronics is just spelling disaster.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know it would be an awful idea, but
okay.
I'm just thinking that.
But the elevator's working.
Okay.
Which leads into the next thing and stuff. After the storm has come and gone, the water elemental can, with I wouldn't say necessarily with ease, but it can get the motorcycle out of the water because that's real easy. And it's going to take at minimum one person a pretty decent amount of time to get everything working again, because that was a really, really good bike that spent somewhere between 4 to 5 days in the bay.
Cool. You want me to roll a tech check to see if I can get it working again?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I almost rolled that in a private chat. That wouldn't have been good.
You're able to start cleaning stuff out and fixing it. You're able to, well, thankfully, because of the size of it, you can bring it actually into the base, and there is a actually, I want to double check that. I almost opened my mouth and inserted lies. This facility has a bundle of different useful things, but I have to verify if it has the proper shop itself.
I'm gonna say over the comms, Shiro, I brought you a present.
Yay!
It does not have a
Well-
workshop. It has living
I'm a
space,
mobile
power system,
workshop.
security system, main for inside. It's considered isolated because you need that elevator. Fire prevention system. It's pretty freaking concealed. Communications, computers. At the moment, it does not have a working station. It's one of the things that he's working on expanding, because he's trying to expand multiple things on the station, on his sea base. Why is it doing like that? That was weird. No, but you do have the proper tools to still technically work on it. Uh, but there is equipment you need. Well, equipment. There is stuff you have to replace. It does look like there's been multiple things that not only were damaged before it got tossed in, but looks like there's a few things that were removed from it. That you need to go fly out and do your 5-finger discount to get. And thankfully, you know where a hardware store is to get all the useful auto parts you need for the bike.
Oh, so I get to go 5-finger discount stuff, but I can't talk about sleeping gas. Gotcha.
Well, there's a difference between that and going to a store that doesn't have anyone working at it because the city's in a state of technically abandonment. So technically, it's not considered theft at this moment.
I'm pretty sure we're heroes and stealing is stealing, sir. We're still breaking the law.
But not the law of survival.
He's gonna give me that deadpan stare. I'm gonna die. All right, I'm going to the hardware store to get my stuff and get
No.
out.
Do we know if there's any food left in the Coast Guard thing? Coast Guard base?
At
The
the
reason I'm
abandoned
asking
base,
is I would like to take the supply to the group that we found.
you'd be correct in assuming that there is no food anywhere to be found there.
Okay.
Give me one moment. I am having.
No. At least I know that we're good for our word.
I'm starting to, for some weird reason, have connection problems again.
Yeah, yeah, it's going in real bad.
Because I noticed it was partially frozen on the screen for OBS, and so I saw that and disconnected and reconnected.
So while I'm out grabbing the stuff for the bike, do you want me to hit up a grocery store and see if I can find something to drop off at the towers?
Well, I could go with you, and we can do that. I mean, Shiro, yeah.
Shiro.
Yeah, Shiro, thank you. Is working on putting the Hornet away.
No, it's already
and
put
making
away.
sure it's concealed. Oh, he already put it away? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot I missed when I stepped out to have my.
So all three of you can go on a grocery trip / hitting up parts to
hardware run.
fix the bike. Because it's going to take a
Well, we
while
also
for
should look to see
Sewer
if
to get the boat to in a position where he can start fixing it. So you guys have time
well,
to
does the
go
boat
shopping.
okay, does the boat have to be put on into dry dock, or is it just
He
you said
plans
it
on
was
using
underwater.
his elementals to make it possible for him to fix the hull breaches and stuff like that. There's perks of having a water elemental and an air elemental doing stuff for you.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Yeah, we'll go look to see if there are any parts or anything else for the ship that he might need as well when we go looking through the hardware store.
Uh,
Um,
well, until he gets it up
so,
and floating, he won't know exactly what electronical or mechanical parts need to be replaced. So you don't have to stress that
yeah.
because he doesn't have a list to give you.
Okay.
Uh, it's just
Well,
mainly
it was just
stuff for the bike.
yeah. Okay. Um, so yards and
Yeah.
yards of duct tape is what we need.
um, you guys can easily get to the proper store that has the stuff that the bike needs. And when you guys walk in, just like last time you were here, Techno, there is some of that weird uh, fluid on the ground. And some of it seems to be on
What
some of
is
the
it?
shelves.
What is this liquid here? Do you know?
Um, in the hardware store, no. But if it's anything like what's in the fire station, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Mainly because it can't hurt me. Or well, at least what it's tied to can't hurt me.
Okay. All right. Well, let's load it up to see what we can find. See if we find the right stuff for the bike and find, get a case of duct tape that fits around.
Then you can find all sorts of random parts that you can replace, even parts you probably don't need to replace, but you need to grab some of those too, and some spare stuff.
I'm just gonna empty the hardware. We're gonna take everything.
Well,
I was
everything you
going to
can
say we can
carry.
take, yeah. I mean, we can definitely get some extra toolkits, vices, things like that, because we're going to need them in a shop eventually.
Uh,
So if he has that on hand, then he can put it
but as
into
you
wherever
guys,
he needs
as you
it.
guys are curious, grab butts of steam, boom. Shiro, you can easily come to part of the store where there's a little bit more of the fluid stuff. You're like, yay, putting stuff there. And as you're grabbing some of the tools, you realize that one of the things you grabbed, it's this very tiny ant. By tiny, I don't mean like that. I mean like, and it's kind of looking at you, and it still kind of has this lack of pigmentation. And as you somewhat look where you reached to grab, you can see several other ones, and then some in a more larva state. And then peeking its head up over the shelf, you can see a larger ant that's obviously a honeypot ant, and it's just staring at you with its never blinking eyes because it can't blink.
They're not.
I stay quiet.
They're not that dangerous.
Well, you're holding a baby.
Oh, wait, Shiro is?
No, you are. Like I said, as you're grabbing stuff, you
Oh, I am.
accidentally grabbed one, saw it, looked where you saw several other ones kind of just relaxing in that area, and then a bigger ant just staring at you.
So, Can I take this baby with us and train it up?
You don't know how trainable the ants are. You do
Cool,
know
we're gonna
that they
find
are
out.
highly protective of their offspring.
Again, cool. Not a big deal.
First, these ones being mean to the honeypots.
It, it,
They're sweet little
out, out of
ants.
out of out of character on this one. Last session, if I remember correctly, the honeypot ants can't even breach my shield. So I'm gonna take the baby, and we're gonna see how trainable they are.
So you're just gonna bounce with the baby and tell everyone else
Yeah, we're
that.
gonna take it with us.
Do you tell them to? We need to leave now. As you start to.
Yeah, guys, we I hope everybody has everything we need. We're leaving because we're experiment.
What do you have?
As you see him moving, you can see on top of the shelf a roughly around 5 foot tall ant biting at him, and it just keeps hitting his shield. As you can hear and hear a lot more movement, and you can see climbing up over things a lot more of the ants that look like it. Implying he just pissed off an ant's nest, but these ants aren't as big as the ants you're actually used to running from. And obviously, you guys spend a large amount of time, obviously, really close to them.
Okay. Do you think this is a smart idea to grab one of the babies? Because what's going to happen is they're going to follow us, and they do have a type of command structure where they can communicate.
Is it smart? Probably not. Am I going to do this anyway? Absolutely, because again, none of them can pierce my shield.
Yeah.
These ants don't have the ability to pierce my shield, as I've come to find out. So I'm going to run a social experiment. I'm leaving. I will meet you guys back at the base. I recommend you don't follow me directly.
No, I was going to say no. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to make sure that we got out of the way and all that. Because we're going to have to go back, take the tools, and then go back out for a shopping, supermarket run.
So you guys are able to leave with him flying off with what he has, holding on to tiny little ant that doesn't look thrilled to be flying.
Yeah.
Now
is go ahead.
And you guys, and the other two of you are able to fly off and start going towards where you hope a grocery store is, leaving the poor ants to have a panic attack that someone just stole a baby.
The question is are they communicating with the other people?
Are they communicating with the other more dangerous hive that can penetrate his shields?
Yeah.
You don't know, because none of those ants have currently shown up yet to take revenge.
Okay.
Because the only things you can guarantee right now is these ants obviously are not nearly as hostile as the ants that you guys have encountered before.
Do we know that they're not so hostile? Do we know what they like eating or whatever that means?
Nope.
Maybe trade the baby.
That's a Techno's going to have to start doing lots and lots of research into what this ant would possibly want to eat, how much to actually feed it, and how much care it's going to actually take, and then upscale it, because this is an ant that's already several hundred times its size it's supposed to be, because honeypot ants aren't very big ants.
Hmm. Yeah. And we don't know where Ray Palmer is.
No. But because the grocery store is closer, you guys are able to get into a grocery store. And as you guys can start milling about, you can see signs that it definitely has had people ruffle through it. Uh, and a thing you're able to find is that there's a bunch of like boxes that uh, you think should have like dry food in like cereal or pasta, but the food's missing out of them. You can find cans that the outside labels are gone and they look like they've had severe erosion, which did cause breaches to get inside, and it's perfectly clean. Um,
Amen.
like the only real
Okay.
things you're finding like intact that looks like has actually no damage are things made out of glass.
Turn this on a minute here.
Everything else seems some sort of degree of erosion, and the food is gone.
Okay.
And on a lot of the different surfaces, there's this weird sheen, almost like someone did a deep clean.
It still is down. It came back.
You are also able to
There's no water,
find
okay?
several, it looks like,
Coming with you.
pipes with some wrappings on it that look like someone was using it as a club. A few random firearms that seem to be mostly out of ammo. A damaged walkie-talkie. Like, signs say like, there may have been some sort of fight, but you're not finding any people or any actually usable food. Because it looks like I said, the only
Okay.
things that are seem to be intact are made of glass. Everything else, like I said, has some sort of erosion.
Hmm.
Which is somewhat bothersome because the massive events that messed up the city and stuff happened only mere weeks ago. But a lot of this stuff looks
Yeah,
like,
that is good.
and it's not rust erosion on the metal, but it obviously is some sort of erosion.
Okay. Um. Do I have a way of recording what I'm seeing, or not? I don't remember.
Uh,
Like if I want to send the captain photographs of
I
what we're
mean, to a
finding.
certain degree,
Yeah.
I can permit it, even though you don't have a video camera or a like any actual recording devices. But to a certain degree, I can say yes.
Okay.
So it's not technically skirting the rules or cheating. It's because it's a combat suit. To a certain degree, I can say yes. But it's more like live
Okay.
feed, not recorded feed.
Okay. So it's basically a rough estimate of what he's seeing. All the stuff that I'm gathering.
Yeah, if it's going to be recorded, it's going to be on his end, not yours.
Well, that's fine. Okay. I just want to have the captain see it and see whether you take samples. I don't know if we can, if it's eroding thing.
You don't have anything other than taking a can back. You don't have any equipment to actually take this any sort of samples. And at the moment, Captain Stewart doesn't have a laboratory in his base at the moment. Just like I said, with several things that the party could possibly need or want, it's taking him time to do it, and because the state of this Gotham and the rest of the world, it's taking him a lot longer. And
Okay.
I just realized there was a chatter, and yes, he is chatter, causing lots and lots of problems. Um, Thank you for putting that in there and re-bringing that up. Because
Who was that?
yes, you did get in trouble for sleeping gas.
Oh.
Uh,
So who got gas?
no one. It's just him being funny.
Oh.
So I figured. uh, Menace to society, I swear. Um, you know, but like I said, there is no at the grocery store. There is no food to be gained since it looks like something already got to it all.
Okay. I kind of figured that was going to happen. It was worth a shot to see what we could find. It's probably all the stores are kind of like what we're seeing here.
There's a very good chance that they are. Dun 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 dun.
I was going to say there's no Walmart or any big stores around, huh?
You'd have to. Well, I mean, you lived in Gotham, so any of the big chain stores you can go check out if you really, really, really want.
Maybe not right this second, but there you go. Thing. I asked. I asked the weapons master. I'm just going to call him weapons master. It's easier for me. That is there anything that you see that's on the ground or around that you can use or take advantage of? Okay, because he's with me, right? At the
Yeah, he's
store.
with you, but he's obviously mute at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Well, you have to remember, he also is trying to wrangle children.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I hear him in the background.
Uh, but yeah, I said you guys can either go check out another grocery store. That could be one of the big brand name ones, or you can go back to the base and see exactly what trouble Techno is getting into.
Okay. Um, I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and um, go on back and see and check with the captain to see if he has a map of what we need to look for in different locations.
Relax your finger, please.
Well, because obviously Techno gets to the base first. You can enter in holding this thing. Um, it hits you that you have nowhere to properly store it or keep it, other than like a shoebox under
I
your
have a
bed.
quarters, don't I?
You have a what?
I have a quarters, don't I?
Yeah, you do have a room. Are you just gonna
Yeah.
like, leave it on your desk?
Hell yeah. He gets to live with me. It's my little buddy now.
So you just go in your quarters and just let it sit on your desk?
Yes.
Uh, you have no idea what it eats.
Yes, that's why I'm going to stop when I go to do research. I'm going to take it with me. I'm assuming I don't have any biology books sitting around in my room.
Nope, because you're not a nature
How
hero. You're a science hero.
Yes, but if I am correct in assuming our captain is actually a nature hero, is he not?
He's an architect.
No.
It's why his base looks like a sewer system, because his day job
that's what he
involves working on sewers.
So I'm gonna take my little ant buddy. I'm gonna go up to the captain and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Captain, I need to find some biology books. Where's the? Do we have any in here in the base, or where's the nearest library at?"
He tells you where the nearest library is.
I'm gonna head to the library.
Okay. Are you securing this in any way?
He's just
Am I
holding
scared?
it.
What? Yeah, I'm just holding it. I mean, it's a baby. It's not really doing anything.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Uh, no, but the other
So
two are able
I guess
to get back shortly after they see him flying off. Because obviously he's off going somewhere. Where you guys can enter the base, drop off the rest of the stuff you did have from the other store. And while he's flying off, when flying off, obviously going somewhere, what do the two people who just got back at base do?
usually relax or um, find out what needs to be taken care of, or eat one of those three things, or
Uh,
sleep.
yeah, you can easily get a bite to eat here because Captain Sewer has plenty of food. You can uh, enjoy some pre-recorded TV shows. Because he seems to like Downton Abbey. Uh, I said get some snacks and stuff and relax. Does Shiro sit back and just enjoy the fact that other than exploring what's left of Gotham, there's no pressing matter because you defeated Dracula in episode 4?
Yes.
You will recall.
Okay.
I'm gonna radio them as I'm flying off and be like, "Hey guys, I'm heading to the local library. I need some biology books."
Are there do we have any maps of the city? I mean, accurate maps of where all the different things are, like stores or storefronts or warehouses, that type of stuff.
Yes, there is a a map for the city. It's actually what I've been even though I had to find smaller, better, smaller, better, cookie cutter versions of it, so I actually read what's supposed to be in certain areas. Uh, but there is a nice map of Gotham City. I've been doing research lately to try to see if I can get more detailed version of it, so I can actually properly read everything.
Okay.
But there is
Well,
a very
I wanted
big,
to know that.
yeah, uh,
Very big map.
it's a pretty detailed map too.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. What I do is I mark where the the current place for where they found refugees at or survivors, and approximate number, and that, and then that way we can find, locate the different ones. Hopefully, when we uh, do anything else. Is there any? Well, I guess there's a way to mark what stores we went to,
Yeah, you
like
can
the food
easily
store
mark it.
and okay. Um, I'm just trying to make sure that we
You don't double
don't
check
have
the
to
same
repeat
location.
any.
No.
Yeah,
But Techno, you are able to.
not at the current time.
You are able to get to the library. Um, you're able to enter it. You can tell that at one point it looked like there may have people here because there was barricades that you had to manhandle your way in, but yet there's no one responding to you when you do any sort of call outs. And as you're
Mm,
and as you're able to do some minor investigation of the immediate area, you can tell that there was some sort of conflict with inside of where the main barricades are, and it does kind of look like people were trying to get out of the library, but something managed to stop them. You can find some metallic weapons that do have signs of something corroding them, but no rust. Some heavily eroded pieces of fabric, but you can tell is mainly uh, artificial materials. Uh, no bodies, no body parts. There's multiple surfaces that look like they extremely deep cleaned because they have this nice polish on them. And there's a certain section around that same area where it looked like someone went down, where you can see that the only books that are left there are books that are have lots of plastics in them. But you can find remnants of heavily corroded books.
okay.
Do you move deeper into the library?
Yes.
You can tell that a large portion of the books are just gone. You can find that there's some that look like they may have been used to as kindling for fire, but you can tell by some of the leftover like spines and covers that they were mainly like, oh hey, these were like self-help books, magazines, and pretty much books that librarians would most likely throw away instead of burn. Well, not burn, but throw away or burn instead of keeping. You can find areas that have more signs of corrosion, that they may have been used to store food and water, but they're completely empty. Do you leave that area alone and go look for biology books on bugs?
Yes.
Doesn't take you very long because it is a very good library. This Gotham actually does surprisingly have a very good library. Where you can start not only collecting books about ants and books associated with maintenance and stuff, but you can roll a raw intellect check of 10 to get some basic knowledge of ants. And because you're high intelligence, you have a plus 10. Dun dun dun. Okay, the most immediate thing you can tell that you need to for his ant is A, stop exposing it to direct sunlight, because at this stage you're gonna kill it. So you may have been technically torturing it. And the easiest food source for you to get to it would be to yeah, you know that weird slimy liquid stuff I kept saying you kept finding?
Yeah.
That's droplets from the honeydew ants that can be found dangling from the ceiling. Uh, that's high in all the carbs and sugars they need to live because that is their food.
Cool. I'm gonna go break into the hardware store again.
You don't need to break in.
Well, that's one of two
I'm sure I'm gonna have a
locations.
very pissed off ant colony.
Yeah. Uh, well, are you going to first go find a location where you can get an item to store a bunch of that liquid in?
We're at a hardware store. They should have some kind of jar there or container. Even even an empty gas container would work.
I gotta check your knowledge sometimes. Not gonna assume you know everything. That's my job. No, but you fly up and leave the library, holding your ant, looking up at the sun because it's still daylight.
No, I have it. No, no. I picked up I picked up another container that I can store it in, so when I'm out in the sunlight, it's not getting cooked.
Because it doesn't have the proper exoskeleton at the moment to fight off the sun. And then you go to the hardware store
Yes.
where there's lots of pissed off ants that really, really want that baby back. And you get yourself a detainer and then do your very best to gather as much of that liquid up as you can while being harassed by ants that really, really want that baby back. Because,
Yeah, I'm still gonna go in there.
yes, it takes you a long while, mainly because the ants are being ants. But you are able to take a small empty gas canister and get a bunch of the stuff in there and then leave. Because the ants are pretty much it's like you're like, okay, I gotta scoop this up. Okay, don't give me that gas can back. Give it back. Give it. And I need a new one because they just put a hole in it. Crap. Because you're protected, the gas cans aren't. So it did take you a while, and then you're able to return back to base with the chill force being very chill. And next chance you go on outing, you need to go out and actually acquire. Just go find a pet store and acquire all the rest of the random things you need to make sure that ant can actually get big enough that you don't have to stress it so much.
Yay.
Because that ant needs plenty of darkness because it doesn't need that much light to actually grow because too much light will kill it. It also needs a certain level of humidity, otherwise it's going to dry out too much. Because it's not until it actually gets its big enough and its shell is enough for it to actually be able to not stress the environment so much. Because got a lot of exoskeletal plating being pretty much a biohazard suit on itself. But you're on your way to having a giant pet ant that you hope is smart enough to not constantly try to A, escape, and or B, try to eat you in your sleep.
Yay.
But we can easily move to the next day where you can either A, start doing the final parts of fixing his bike, or B, go hit a pet store. while you're deciding that, on this day, what shenanigans does Shiro and or All Strike wants to get into?
Well, I want to find out where he's going, and if there's any, and also to check with the captain if there's anything he needs at the moment. Otherwise, I'm going to go search for survivors in that.
Uh, Captain's just working on getting his boat back operational because he misses riding around on his boat.
Okay. Is there, like I said, is there anything that he needs to fix his boat that I can get?
When he when he gets to the point where he can verify what needs to be replaced, he was going to send you guys out on a errand to go fetch it.
Okay. Question: is he going to need welding equipment?
He already
I
has
don't.
welding equipment.
Okay, that's
Is
all I
it,
needed to know.
is it really wise to let me have fire?
You're not
I
the
have
one
no
being
idea.
permitted with the fire.
But why?
Uh, Go on YouTube, look up episode 5, and watch it. You'll find out real quick why you shouldn't have fire. So, yes, for everyone watching,
I,
he did something with fire that was somewhat hilarious, and if it wasn't for that big old storm that came in, part of the city would still be on fire. Because chemicals that
Yeah.
act like napalm when they're on fire have a tendency to burn a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. That was a
Yeah.
fun adventure putting that
I
out
forgot
before,
all about.
water got added to it. Uh,
Yeah.
but like I said,
So the fire.
you don't have to worry about the fire anymore.
Okay.
The
D-
It was taken care of. But does
Where is the?
Almighty newfound man interested in ants go to a pet store to get stuff for his ant, or does he fix the bike?
can I fix the bike and send off All Strike or Shiro to do my pet store run?
They don't know what to get.
Can I tell them what to get while I'm fixing the bike?
Do you want to write them a list and then hand it to them?
Yes.
You can write a list and send them to go to the pet store to get it.
Cool. I'm gonna write them a list and give it to them to go to the pet store and get it. Hey guys, I really need these items, please. It is part of my experiment. I would appreciate if you would get them. I will fix the bike in the meantime.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, you want to go with me?
Sure.
You
Okay.
guys can easily go to the pet store. Can
Okay.
both of you roll me perception
as we're
checks?
going, we're searching. Okay.
Shiro, you do have a plus 13. All Strike, you have a 5. And this isn't a radar thing, this is to notice something else.
You said a 5?
Yep.
Okay, I got 15 total.
You said the 13. I have a
Yep.
13.
Yep. Okay,
You are
as you
so
guys are flying
beautiful.
over Shiro, you can notice that one of the small convenience stores that you guys are passing overhead,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you see what looks like a person it goes to run out, but something pulls them back in.
I don't see this, but he
Shiro
does, right?
saw that.
Okay.
Okay. Huh. I think someone needs to be saved. Something just snatched the dude and back inside.
That's what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we need to go investigate because if there's a person down there that needs our help, um, we need to take care of that. Um, so, I'll fly down and have my um, weapon, my force beam ready to go. I kind of go in
So you
like,
guys
like
can,
a
so
cop
you can
does.
see fly down, land. You see the door to the convenience store is open. You don't hear anything or see any movement at the moment. Uh, and I would be correct to saying you guys entered, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but we're on high alert.
Yeah. You guys can enter in.
Yeah.
You can see that there is heavy signs of corrosion all over the place. You can see that there are several articles of clothing that look like they may or may not have some partial corrosion on them. Not a few things that look like they were being used as weapons. A lot of the surfaces in here does look like it's been really deep clean, so it has this nice sheen to it. And as you're starting your investigation, you can notice that it looks like whatever hit in here was the same thing that hit the grocery store you were at the other day. And
Okay.
you're finding no signs of the person or whatever could have possibly grabbed him, other than the fact that the shirt on the ground, you're pretty sure the shirt belonged to the person you saw get grabbed, Shiro.
This was, I point out, this is the same shirt that the person had on.
Is it torn or anything like that?
Mm.
Or is there any
It's
residue on
corroded.
it?
It looks like parts of it are slightly eroded. Uh, it looks extremely technically it does look extremely clean. Like any sort of the stains or anything that were on it were removed. That like the normal dirt and grime you'd see on shirts that was just really good clean. Um, do you check what the shirt is made out of?
Yeah.
A polyester. One of the
Huh.
a inorganic material, which I'm sure polyesters are inorganic. I might be wrong, but it's made out of one of those non-organic materials. Can both of you make me another perception check?
I keep looking for my dice. And my perception is a +5.
Yep. Okay, as you guys are milling about, coming from what you believe is the bathroom, you can slightly hear this weird bloop, bloop. What do you guys do?
Okay, well, we take a cautious approach to opening the bathroom door.
Usually,
Let I will push it open and let Shiro
well, it's a
stand ready
pull
to
to
blow
open door.
anything up there. Huh?
It's a pull to open, not a push to open.
Oh, okay, pull it open,
So, you,
and I pull it towards me,
Shiro can
which
aim
is
down.
shielding me. Yeah, so he can either shoot anything that comes in that's aggressive or go in and take point.
Yeah. When you open it, it's not a very big bathroom because it's a small convenience store bathroom, and there's no one in there. Do you enter in, Shiro?
I peek my head in.
Other than it looking like the cleanest bathroom you've ever seen, the only thing that you can note that is off is a shoe that seems to be by the toilet.
Mm, I don't like this.
What do you think it might be?
Maybe just a wild guess estimation, probably some sort of slime or whatnot.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead
Bloop,
and close
bloop,
the door and leave. Maybe
bloop,
barricading the door so whatever came through,
You hear that?
they can't
bloop.
get it.
Bloop.
Uh,
What do you
I
do,
said
Shiro?
that we close the bathroom door and then secure it so that it takes effort to open it
yeah,
from the inside out.
I'm not going to check that toilet. It seems like a trap.
No, no, I would. We'll just come on out
Yeah, so
and
you shut it. You can easily pull something to put against it. You know, yeah. As you guys are planning on going out, you notice that there seems to be this weird gelatinous stuff coming out from underneath the door. Almost
Oh,
like
we
it
need to
doesn't need
move
to open the
now.
door to get out. Do you guys bolt?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a fire extinguisher around?
Are you gonna take time to find one?
No. I was thinking that if I saw one while I was going out, I could grab it.
You did not see one that was readily available for you to just grab and use. You would have to take some time
Okay.
to look for it.
To find it. Okay.
But you guys leave.
Yeah, we leave
yeah.
on the way out. See if there's anything in this store that we can use or whatever. I know that it's probably been ransacked.
Anything that would have been useful is not here.
It's gone. Okay, that's what I thought. But I was going to ask anyway because I might get lucky and have a bunch of lighters like I did that one other game. All I did was find lighters.
That's all we need, more lighters. Um, so you guys start heading to that pet store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can easily make it to the pet store. You can easily make it in. You have a sad moment that I'm not going to do details about because you should know what the sad deal is if you've ever been to a pet store. You are able to find all the things on his list, and you are then able to vomitus out of the store.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming nothing left alive in there.
Again, not going into details.
Okay.
And you guys
Well,
can then easily make it back to the base.
Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
Um,
make it in.
I know that did. He didn't put on a. Did he put on a to get a leash or a harness?
It wasn't on the list.
It's not a dog. I'm not walking it.
I would consider that to be something, or the harness. That if nothing else, he can use it to secure it so that he needs to ride it like he was talking about. There's a chance of him doing that.
Who's riding it?
I would treat the ant with the ability, with a way of taking them for walks or taking them to secure them.
When it grows, it's going to be roughly 5 feet long.
Yeah, so it's the size of a good iguana can be. And people walk it.
Uh,
Actually, I had an aunt that had one that she did that with.
Oh, and we believe we can't encounter slime.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, we're back at camp. I mean, back
yeah,
at
I said you're back
ranch.
there.
Okay, that's what I thought you said, but
Uh, but you can
so we,
finish
so we
fixing
were
the.
able to.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, so we actually found like pet food or whatever he asked for
Well, it
there.
was more stuff to keep it in and make sure the humidity levels and stuff was proper for it, not necessarily food, because it requires a specific diet that he already pretty much got taken care of for a while, anyways.
Um, did one of the things that he requested us to get, was it some type of pen or whatever we can put it in?
Nope,
Uh,
it's his room. That's its bed.
okay, I'm just asking because I wanted to make sure
Like I
that.
said, you got everything he requested. Uh, he's able to finish up fixing the bike so it's usable. And then he can spend the rest of the day setting up stuff in his room to make sure the ant is super comfortable.
Okay.
Uh, but to somewhat at the end of the day report is you guys can verify that there's some sort of slime thing eating, pretty much going about the city eating all the food and anyone it finds. And you can verify 3 locations
Okay.
it's been at, which
Yeah.
weren't all in the same area. Implying A, it's really big, or B, there's more than one, or C, it's highly mobile, or
Yeah.
D, all of the above. It's a mystery that will give you
Yeah.
nightmares. Uh, but on that note, because we are at the normal time we wrap up. But as in a note thing, to do research on slimes, Captain Sewer puts on the movie The Blob.
I have fun. Which version?
The remake.
Okay.
Um, which means technically speaking, for you heroes, if you want to do your own little workout on what could possibly work on uh, blobs,
Yeah.
you could technically
Well, I
watch that movie.
right. Yeah.
Uh,
What I do is I go ahead and identify on the map where that is, and but how close is that to the settlement that the Gotham Towers
close
where
enough
those
to be
people are
concerning.
in? Okay.
It's close enough that if it
All right.
decides to go there, it's most likely going to find them, and it's most likely going to try to treat it as a buffet.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get them out of there. And we got to find out where we're going to put these people, because the more and more we rescue and save from whatever,
Yeah, you got to find a safe area.
it's going.
But like I
Yeah.
said before next game session, if you guys want to treat yourselves as a fun bit of homework that you don't have to do, you can do it if you want, but you can watch the Blob, uh, because you can use that as in-game ideas on how to counteract blobs, uh, and you can see what actually does and does not work. Which, if a certain hero can remember that, hey, we know possibly where the blob came from. Isn't that right, Shiro?
Yeah.
Gotta love Hive.
What did you do?
Hive used them
Oh,
as to protect certain locations, but obviously this one's not protecting because it's eating, moving to locations, eating. But like I said, on that note, we will officially be ending the game because we are at that time. Uh, so all those
okay.
who watched and commented, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. We'll catch you next week for more Nightmares of Future Past. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.